Hello guys, this is going to be Spires of Ascension 17, Fortified, Inspiring, Grievous, Tormented. That was week 2 of season 2 of patch 9.1. Basically this was the key. I've done this with like this is a pug group, and the only person that I knew here was Birkin. Frost mage that I've done a bunch of keys with. I mentioned him in almost every key, so make sure to follow his YouTube as well if you care about mage gameplay. He's amazing, and also has done a lot of keys. Right now I feel like Spires has been one of the keys that has suffered some changes. I can't actually, like, I'm not sure what exactly changed, but it just feels like these are not currently that difficult as they were previous week. For us as a healer, the challenge this week was essentially, obviously Grievous is always annoying, but I found that one spec that specifically is sort of like made to deal well with Grievous is actually this Holy Priest, because I feel like Holy Priest has insanely high HPS, so we can keep people up without any problems. And don't forget that the main point of our whole playstyle is essentially maintaining those 5 stacks of flash concentration, and then just making sure that we keep our tank alive, obviously keep our DPSers alive, and just do our best. And here you can see I made a mistake, so I popped the boon. And I played like more aggressive than I had to, so I was greeding for damage and I died. Don't do that. Honestly, like, as Holy Priest, I feel like boon isn't even like, it's an offensive tool more or less. Like, I feel like most of the times when I lose somebody or I die is when I'm using boon. Just like, I don't know, I mean, I'm not saying we shouldn't use it. It's an insanely strong ability, and like we should definitely use it and utilize it to its fullest, but I'm still struggling to find like a sweet spot as to when to use it exactly. Like, I usually use it for damage. I know it can do some healing as well, and it's strong, but I personally have found it best to pop either on like Tormented ads when you want to help contribute damage, or when there's big pulls but you have good control, so you don't expect people to die, you know, and then you just kind of like wanna, you know, help out with damage. But yeah, this guy is very simple. Just stack, make sure you're stacked with people, and then get ready to run out. We as a Holy Priest, we are slow, so be careful, be prepared for that. You can even pre-place Feather and just be ready to react, and obviously then be ready to heal the person that gets severed. I think that's what I think it's called, right? Wait, let me see. Okay, so Wave of Terror is what you're stacking for, and then Carnage, yeah. Be ready to heal Carnage the person, because they will take a lot of damage. And if 2 people get Carnage on higher keys, it can spell trouble. You can see there I had to expand Tooth to heal Birkin. It was kind of scary. It was scary, not gonna lie. It's not a joke. Make sure that those dots are healed. I tend to take mana, especially now when the keys are high. Some pulls last longer and some bosses last incredibly long, and because of that I decided that the best ability from here is mana. I know it got nerfed, I know it's not as good as it was, but that doesn't mean it's not good, and will save you a lot of time, which otherwise you would spend either drinking or worrying about mana. Like this, we can just go and stay strong throughout the whole encounter. Here, one good thing you can do is why I'm standing close. There's actually 2 reasons why I'm standing close. One is line of sight here, because there's stairs, so that's like a simpler reason that's a little bit more specific, but there's also 2 more reasons. So one is, if you're playing Sanguine Ichor, which I'm picking almost every time, and right now I don't have it, I know, I'm aware, but I'll get it later, and I'm gonna try to get used to this playstyle where we're staying close, so those procs actually deal damage to the... And I did a nice dispel there, although that's probably not the play, because I think mage can spell steal that, but I don't know. Usually when I'm waiting for people to spell steal, they don't do it, so I'm like, I just dispel stuff when I see them. Especially in pugs, even though Birkin was on Discord with me here, but I don't know why I did it. Probably not the correct play, but it is what it is. Essentially, staying close, 2 reasons. Fear, number 1, so you can help with interrupts. a lot of things can be feared, and there's a lot of things that can't be interrupted, so therefore we'll have to be stunned or CC'd in any sort of way to interrupt their casts, and some of those casts can be very dangerous in some dungeons. And the second reason is Sanguine Ichor. It deals a lot of damage, and also our Holy Nova, Holy Blast, or whatever it's called, is an ability that you should use on like +4 targets, I think, is when it becomes optimal, more better than Smite. So in those cases you want to you kind of want to utilize it in that way. You wanna stand close and then you wanna spam it. So practicing to stay close is good. Obviously don't do it at the risk of like dying, or if you're not sure that you can dodge some frontals and stuff like that, or if it means you'll have to move too much, but you know, just like optimizing a little bit better. And also earlier I want to say, like, if you noticed when the debuff went on both, yeah, you can see here, like, I'm gonna use Mass Dispel here, but you saw previously the debuff went on Warlock and on Mage. So why did I dispel Warlock and not Mage? The reason is Mage has Ice Block, so Mage can protect himself. If he really wants to get rid of that buff, he is free to Ice Block and cancel it and just keep DPSing without almost losing, basically almost any DPS. He loses 1 GCD, whereas Warlock can't get rid of it. So it's better to dispel Warlock, and if Mage is really in trouble, he can just Ice Block or Alter Time. If the debuff isn't annoying but is dealing damage, just Alter Time. And that is the explanation. Just, you know, use logic. Like if a class like if 2 classes get the dispel, you get something that you want dispelled, and you have only 1 dispel, you want to prioritize the one that's more vulnerable to the ability that went on them. And this boss is relatively simple. There's not much to say. Just dodge stuff. Be careful. Like don't run around between the lasers, and don't get hit by the balls. It's very simple. Simple boss. Easy. Moving on. Here you can expect, like, this is where we want to maintain our stacks and want to use Prayer of Mending, and have like both Sanctify and Circle of Healing ready, and Serenity. The reason is, like, these guys will eventually get their curls off at somebody and they will hit them hard, and since it's Fortified, it can really hurt, and you gotta be careful. You can see here people getting hit, Birkin getting hit, Warlock getting hit. Be careful. Keep those people alive, have quick reactions. Just maintain your composure and be focused. On this pull, you want to be very careful. These Death Claws can shred tank in literally seconds. Do not underestimate these guys. I toofed him immediately. I'm gonna Guardian Spirit him now, I hope. Yeah, there you go. Got good Guardian Spirit, and I'm probably gonna use a boon, I think, to help out with damage. Yeah, there you go. Boon of Ascended. Good. And I lost the tank while I was doing the boon. Once again, see how, like, boon is double-edged sword. But this time, this was on tank. I didn't have anything for him. He should have known that he can't tank that. That was his mistake. I hope that we can agree with that. If it's my mistake, then I'm confused. It could be a little bit of both, to be fair, but in general, I just think we should have CC'd better. and just he should not have went back in.
Listen to reason, devils. The Kyrian must stand united.
Not so long as you command. The Forsworn will forge a new path for Bastion.
Here, these guys, once again, we have these, some people call them dogs, some people call them cats, some people call them whatever, but be careful. These that close, they shred tank, they leave this nasty dot. Just be careful with these guys. You see me stunning him, I just want to help out the tank. Although Praetor would probably be a better stun, actually. But, you know, I'm worried about the tank, because tank is DH. DHs can be quite squishy, so just trying to keep my boy alive. And here, you know, two Goliaths alone in the room. They might kiss. We never know. Just be careful. Luckily we had 3 amazing interrupts here, and obviously Warlocks also have one, so with that with their pet, right? So like just something to pay attention to. Obviously if you're using comms, we aren't, but if you are using comms, just make sure you pre-assign these things. Don't, like, if you're taking the right side in this dungeon, you gotta be careful because things can get dicey. This pull is really simple. The only problem here was this inspired ad, but no biggie. Header driver, we have dispels, we have interrupts, we're good.
For eons, we have been told to purify ourselves, to let go of our memories, our identities. Strike quickly!
This pull can also be tricky. Just try to help with damage. I'm trying to like keep people alive, mainly the tank, and also use your dispels. There's one other driver. Try to interrupt. You will see me here fear as well. Although I feared a little bit preemptively, but I just wanted to help with interrupts, and I think I was a little bit too early or too late, depending on how you want to look at it. Here's your Holy Fire. Here I didn't really use my Holy Fire because I was focusing more on like CCing and keeping people alive, but using Holy Fire is pretty big DPS increase, so try to do it on prior targets, like targets that will live long enough. Try to use your Holy Fire on those.
Push forward!
The only difficulty of this pull is that it has inspired that, but we have two dispels. Don't forget, guys, don't forget, we have mass dispel as well. It is okay to use mass dispel if you don't need it. If you have enough mana and there's a single target dispel that's needed, you can still use mass dispel for that. It's not a bad thing. Here I'm gonna PI Birkin, obviously, and then hopefully I'm gonna Holy Fire Goliath. No, I pop a Sundered Boon. Okay, I'm dealing damage, and hopefully I'm gonna Holy Fire Goliath sometime soon. I should have qualified Goliath. Okay, so that's... it's not really a mistake. Oh, there it is. Okay, I did it in the end. It's not really a mistake not doing it. It's just that, like, there wasn't that much healing-wise going on, so the most optimal play, if we're not healing, we can do is to either CC or deal damage. Those are two things we can do as a healers when we're not healing. CC, deal damage, help your group in any way you can. This pack is relatively simple as we almost lost Birkin. This is why I keep Serenity for when things get sketchy. Keep your abilities, don't just waste them, don't overheal. It's better to keep them. We don't care about our HPS. I know there are some people that think that HPS matters as a healer, but that's not really true. I mean, it can matter, but it's not about numbers. This isn't a raid. It's not a competition between like you or some other healers. Your job is to keep people alive and push the dungeon as fast as possible. If that means less healing for more damage, then by all means go for it. Don't overheal. Don't cast Serenity just to cast it. Don't cast Sanctify just to cast it. Don't waste your mana. Preserve your mana, play properly. Let DPS take care of themselves when they can. We can also do a lot of damage if we focus on it, so Smite, Chastise, use your PIs properly, Holy Fires, boons, just help out. CC, DPS. I'm not saying lose people to DPS, just don't misunderstand me. I'm saying if there is an opportunity for you to do more than just keep people alive, go for it and do it. Trust your teammates that they can stay out of bullshit. And here a difficult pull, so we PI Birkin. I'm ready to pop my CDs. I have like my eye on Apotheosis. I'm also waiting with my Divine Hymn, hoping that I'll get to use it soon. There you go. That last cast was to maintain the 5 stacks. Somebody knocked the ads. Don't forget these are pugs. So oh yeah, I think I remember this. Now they're gonna start flaming each other for that knock. Okay, I'm sorry. Maybe I should have hidden chat. I don't think they say anything wild though. Hopefully not. Oh god, I'm gonna get cancelled. Yeah, it's just pug life, guys. You know, it's no biggie. Don't be like too sensitive Andes. You know, people flaming a little bit. No biggie. It's all good. But yeah, essentially this pull went pretty well. Like there was really no need for any fights or flaming. Like the key is overall going well, not just this pull. So I don't really see a point of arguing.
A powerful servant of the jailer.
And here you can go to this guy before fighting the boss, and you should, because you get one more buff for the boss, which is quite a difficult boss. Maybe even on hierarchies one of the most difficult bosses of this dungeon, although I think they got nerfed quite a bit, like Ventunax or whatever he's called. I think he got like slapped by the nerf hammer quite a bit with that dot. That dot got nerfed to hell. But it's still dangerous, it can still kill people, especially when he goes overcharge mode and he starts shooting the balls. If somebody gets hit plus the dot, they're dead absolutely, no matter what class they are. Unless they have a defensive running. So you gotta be careful. Just respect that boss. Don't be afraid to use your tooth. Don't be afraid to use your guardian spirit on somebody else rather than tank. Don't be scared to pop like Apotheosis just to, you know, have that like stronger healing, and just pay attention to what's going on. Our job there is to focus on positioning, because we're also very vulnerable to dying. I've died to this boss quite a few times because I'm like trying to keep people at 100% for no good reason. Like their job is also like ours to dodge the balls, so they should also focus on that. Obviously, if they get hit, we're gonna heal them, but what I'm saying is that, like, the best thing you can do here as a DPS is just don't get hit. I mean, it seems obvious, but it's hard for us healers here to heal actively, at least for priests. Maybe some other classes struggle less, but we are not very mobile, so when these things are shooting at us, you can't expect too much healing, and this dot actually requires quite a bit of healing, so you need to be focused there. And here I almost get hit by frontal. That was, holy moly, that was scary. Okay, I don't know why I went there. That was, oh yeah, because I wanted distance from the source of the balls to have more time to react. That's why I moved. But I think tank positioned these balls pretty badly. I think ideally you want to put them on top of each other so we have kind of like the same angle for dodging, but yeah. Just I would suggest keeping your Serenity up. Don't waste it unless you absolutely have to, and then you can, like, if you get in trouble and somebody else gets in trouble, you can Serenity, Apotheosis, Serenity, then Prayer of Mending and Flash heal to maintain those stacks, and then just keep healing tank. And in general here you want to focus on dealing damage. Like, look at my damage, I'm dealing 2.3k. It's true that it's with Lust, but you know, just smite as much as you can, put Holy Fire almost always, keep your dot up on them. You can even make a weak aura. I have it on disc, I don't have it on Holy spec. But you can make a weak aura where, like, if you're targeting something and it doesn't have the dot on it, it will tell you and stuff like that. Those things are pretty useful, so you don't have to focus on watching it.
We sacrifice because we must. Mortal burdens would only impede our sacred duty.
No, it was a mortal who exposed the folly of your edicts.
This pull here is rather simple, not much to talk about, just kill this guy, then we're heading for the fire guy. Fire Tormented is probably the hardest Tormented to heal, in my personal opinion, simply because the overwhelming amount of both AoE damage and like the debuffs, so we have to waste globals for dispelling. Luckily as priests we have the blessing of mass dispel, so if you're playing with Shadow Priest or you're priest yourself, I would suggest waiting for the second cast, so you do single target dispel, and then on the second cast you do mass dispel, because that way you can dispel 3 instead of just 2, and I think you get more value like that. So just do a single dispel now. I don't know why I'm not dispelling but healing instead, that's really stupid, but just wait for that, like one more cast and then dispel. Use Prayer of Mending. Prayer of Mending is really big here because it's a passive healing, plus we get that renew applied passively on everybody when it jumps. Also we have Circle of Healing for that additional AoE. We really have a lot of tools to deal with this, and if it comes down to it, just use your Divine Hymn, don't be embarrassed to use it. It's there to be used. It's a very strong healing city.
Now claim its power as your own.
I just wanted to touch a little bit on why I pick Sanguine Ichor. I'm not sure still that it's the best one, but it's what I've been picking and it's working really well for me so far. It's because we have a chance on our heals to essentially just cast this AoE around us, which deals damage and heals. And as you can see here, things got dicey. Somebody pulled, I think it might have been me. I'm actually not sure. I think when I casted a heal, my Sanguine Ichor procced and I pulled extra. But things got really scary here, you can see, because Shaman died. We started getting low. I did not have 5 stacks of Flash Concentration because I didn't expect combat here. and we're in big trouble. We have this guy casting Dark Clash on us, and we got this guy who is really hard actually. Like this mob is not easy to deal with, so IPI Birkin, and we go camp here. We need to heal a lot, and we need to pay attention to frontal as well, and especially now with the slow and with the debuff, with the dot, with everything. Luckily this doesn't go on us, it goes in the other direction. That was lucky, so I had the opportunity to recover. I topped everybody up, so I'm using my boon now, just you know, helping out with DPS, healing Warlock, and I think I died to frontal there, right? I probably wasn't paying attention because I was watching at the bars, and that's something you gotta be aware of as a healer. I feel like one of the biggest qualities you can have as a healer is being reliable and not dying to dumb things, and exactly like opposite of what I just did. You gotta be there for your team, right? Like, you don't want to be the guy that's getting hit by everything and CC'd and like always in trouble. Like, you kind of want to try to play it safe, help as much as you can. Obviously later on in hierarchies you gotta min-max as well, you gotta play risky sometimes, and sometimes it's simply impossible to heal certain pools without doing risky things, but overall just try, in my opinion, you should try to be as safe as possible. And a lot of these keys you can time very comfy as long as people don't die, and the best way for people not to die is if their healer is alive, because we can still, as a holy priest, you can actually carry people through a lot of their mistakes. Luckily after this we figure out that we have invis pots, so I think we're gonna invis the boss, and like this little pool didn't actually affect us that much. This boss is interesting because we can use boon during the burst phase, and also we can save PI for the burst phase if we want to. And also there's a lot of room for us here to deal damage, so don't be shy to smite, holy fire as much as you can. Keep your dots up. Keep your dots up, I said. There we go. I applied my dot, I applied my holy fire, just stealing damage as much as I can. Casting chastise, casting smite. And then you want to reduce, you want to always use chastise on CD unless you plan to stun something soon, because you just want to get it down with smite. Every time you cast smite, the CD gets reduced by 5 seconds, so make sure those smites are getting spammed, so you get to use as much chastise as you can, because it is bigger damage than just simply smiting and applying dots, so you want to use that. And yeah, we're just waiting for his energy here to fill up, so he can do the, yeah, there you go, he's doing the recharge anima, and I am popping Ascended boon, and I am DPSing here as hard as I can. It's not amazing DPS, but it's contribution at least, so that's our job. Like, we help as much as we can as healers with the DPS. Also, I'm coming close as well for the Sanguine Ichor procs. That's something I realized a little bit later, but still something I'm trying to get used to. But don't forget that you do get extra value from being close if you pick up that bottle of Sanguine Ichor. And also there, the ball hit the boss, so he exploded onto all of us, but I was ready. I had my spells ready. Popped Sanctify, I popped my Circle of Healing, Prayer of Mending. If that wouldn't be enough, I would also have popped Apotheosis, and I would keep healing, or I would Divine Him to keep everybody up. I had another PI here. I'm not sure if I'm gonna PI Birkin or save it for the Angels. I think I might be saving it for the Angels upstairs, because those guys are really hard on Fortified, especially on a hierarchy on Fortified this early into the patch. And I just want to say, no, I ended up using PI at the end, so I wasn't saving it for the angels. But it's good actually, because it's gonna be back for the second or third angel.
But you refuse to see the truth. That the path is flawed. That we serve a lie. And so, I listened to the jailer's words. I learned of the great injustice you and the others thrust upon him, and upon us all. He seeks to free us from the prison we have built for ourselves. And for that, he has earned my loyalty in a new world.
And I mourn your betrayal.
With these guys, it's pretty simple. Just be careful. Try to not get hit by things, obviously, and use your healing. Don't be shy to use your healing CDs, especially on Fortified. These guys are the real bosses of this dungeon. This last boss is a joke. Just focus on keeping people alive here. They're gonna take heavy damage at some point, especially on the third angel. And our job is to keep everybody up. One more thing I want to say is that this boss, we are actually really good at dealing with this boss because we have Mass Dispel. So basically after the intermission, what you can do, which is really strong, is you tell people to come to you, or at least gather at some point where you're gonna come to them, and you can just Mass Dispel. All the buffs are gone from the intermission, so they can basically walk over those black circles and they will not suffer from it after the intermission, because we're gonna dispel them simply, and that is actually a really big help and something that's very strong when you're playing as a priest in Spires. And on third angel, like, just be careful, because the third one is the most dangerous one, of course, because he gets all the abilities. And I'm not gonna say anything anymore for the rest of this dungeon. I'm just gonna let you guys watch this boss fight. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any comments, if you wanna say something, if you have something you liked, disliked, or any sort of feedback, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys for clicking on the video. Thank you for watching. Once again, any questions, any comments, any suggestions, critiques, whatever it is you want to say, feel free to leave in comments, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And you can also follow me on my Twitch, twitch.tv/Sirigath. I don't stream World of Warcraft there, but I do play Dark Souls, Hitless, and some other things. So if you want to check it out, I would greatly appreciate that. And I hope you guys have a lovely day and enjoy the rest of this video. And I will catch you on the next one. Have a good day, guys. Stay beautiful. Bye bye.
arsenal can best you.
The jailer's schemes have torn a schism in the ranks of the Kyrian, one that must be healed. Long have we believed that our mortal lives